This is chapter 34 in Beyond Exile. It's called Hit by a Thunderbolt. Frank has gotten on the plane from Singapore, headed to London. He's got with him, packed in these soccer bags, a bunch of rare art treasures. And while on this plane, this is the first time on one of these plane rides where it doesn't depart and then arrive. He's fallen asleep on the trip. I guess it's a long, very long plane ride from Singapore to London. After 5 hours of flight, Frank falls asleep and enters his recurring dream. So in the dream, we see a bed. We look at the bed in the dream. And that puts us at scene number 232, the visitor's room. It looks like it's in a jail as well. He's sleeping on the metal mesh bed when he's rousted and taken to the visitor's room. Excuse me. So this is similar to the dream he had when he was in the Berkeley prison a long time ago, one of the early chapters of the game. And in this dream now, he has a vision of his father, who we know he doesn't get along with. He got along with his grandfather, but not his father. When we look at the vision of his father's there, wearing beige polyester slacks and tennis shoes with cut-out toes, screaming diabetes. We look at father again. Speak to father, at least the vision of the father. Something I forgot to tell you, he says. Don't let them screw you in graduate school. After Caltech, they promised me the moon at USC, but it was all lies and departmental politics. I was furious. I took the master's and left. Big mistake. Made everything harder. I wanted to teach, but the only thing I could find was San Bernardino State, and it wasn't enough to feed a growing family. So I went into electrical engineering and ended up working for Howard Hughes. Stay the course, son. Finish your PhD. And now Frank has a vision of himself. He sees himself in this dream. And in the dream, he is wearing an orange prison jumpsuit. And Frank in the dream says, "Dad, did you come to bail me out? Did you ever call a lawyer? Dad, are you even here?" Let's look at the father again. Speak to the father. "And another thing," he says, "maybe you should get a job at a gas station. You think it's demeaning, but a job like that can fix what's wrong with you. Trust me, it can soothe the mind, can help you transcend the problems in our Glendover blood." And then here, just like back in Berkeley, we can wake up out of the nightmare. We look at that. Frank wakes spooked and shaking, hit by a thunderbolt of personal alchemy. His father's a fake, the dream's a maneuver. He's really the twin brother of Illich Sanchez. It's not about the workers, it's not about the people. It's about the power to break with fate. It's all about choosing the father you want. And so on the plane, we can look over in our delirious waking state at the flight attendant.
"May I have your attention, please?
May I have your attention, please?
The plane will be landing.
The plane will be landing shortly.
We have been
diverted to Copenhagen, Denmark.
All of you will be
placed on a new flight to London as soon as possible. We are sorry for this inconvenience.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
Please fasten your seatbelts. We will soon be on the ground." And indeed, the plane does continue its flight and finishes at scene number 233, which is the Copenhagen's Lufthavn, Denmark. And there's the planes, and there's a ton of snow here. A little change of scenery from Frank, who was sunning it up in the South Pacific, and now he is getting off the plane with his luggage in a snowstorm in Denmark. Well, we look at the boarding, and also, at the same time, a new chapter begins here, Crack. And that's chapter number 35. And we'll keep going with this. Chapter 35, Crack and Beyond Exile. We can look at gate G13. A bomb threat diverts the plane to Copenhagen. Frank's standing on the aluminum stairs, freezing 20 below, waiting for the Danish cartoon bus, in horizontal driving sleet, holding the Adidas bags of porcelain close to body heat, when he hears something crack. Frank. Okay. And, let's see, I guess. So, from Copenhagen, he gets rerouted onto a new path. Which takes him to London. We're back in London, scene 91, at London Heathrow Airport, and a new chapter begins called At the British Museum. So we're going to stop the game there, and isn't it interesting that the horse that helped him, Triptrix, turn his fortune around when he parlayed the long shot into a ton of money. The horse ended up with a cracked hoof, and not very further on, there's another crack. This is the crack he hears from one of his soccer bags. We're going to pause the game right here and join scene 30, chapter 36 the next time, the next chapter. Thank you.